Mr. Pradeep Yuvaraj is an esteemed business storytelling mentor and the founder of Prezantim Presentation Strategy. Mr. Gandharv Dhingra is the co-founder and CEO of Roll Baby Roll. Chef Sriram Rajendran is a distinguished foodpreneur and the visionary founder. Ms. Arpita Aditi is the founder and CEO of TiE Foods. Mr. Ankur Jain is the founder and CEO of Udyog Yantra AI.
One of the advantages of being the MC is I can now dictate time. Please set it for 2 hours. Yeah, you guys are okay? Good. We had a masterclass by Raghav on Cloud Kitchen, so we are a little clueless, what do we talk on? But honestly, it's actually a good context setting for this panel, because now we can go into questions that will help you understand that business from your perspective and probably execute it. But before that, I'm a storyteller and I love to listen to people's stories. So let's start with Arpita. Arpita, what's your food story? What are you into this food industry? And then let's go there from the to the Cloud Kitchen. Yeah.
Before I start about the story, first, I just want to tell you all, thank you so much for having me here in Coimbatore. It's a very special day to be in Coimbatore because while...
can I request someone to just close the doors, please? It's a little noisy. Thank you. Yeah, please.
While in the introduction it was mentioned that, how many cities we are live in. Our 7th city goes live today. We are live in Coimbatore today. So people here in Coimbatore, please do check out our brands. Talk to me, I'll take you through all our brands here. But going back to the story of TiE Foods. TiE Foods is India's one of the fastest growing internet-only brands built in a very asset-light way. We work with existing restaurants of India, and whatever underutilized capacities that they have, we work with them wherein they host our brands from their kitchens. TiE Foods was started as a dream by a 19-year-old Arpita back in college in 2013-14. I had started the food journey by selling momos. I'm not sure if Sagar is here, but thanks to him. And from there, I realized that it's extremely hard to run a food business. So, of course, my restaurant got shut down when I was operating that. And from there, the dream started that I want to build a brand, a pan-India brand, something very scalable, something meaningful, something extremely fruitful for all. And in my career, in my journey, worked at Paytm, Swiggy, I interacted with thousands of restaurants, and I've seen lakhs of restaurants getting shut down because our industry has one of the highest mortality rate, one of the highest shutdown rates. And I realized that it's not just my dream that I'm working towards, it's a dream of millions of Indians. Every third Indian dreams of starting a restaurant business, a food business. So it's everyone's dream. So my dream became bigger and bigger. And I started working on a concept wherein we could work with all the restaurants of India. Anyone who has underutilized capacity is not able to sustain their business. How do we work with them and create a sustainable ecosystem for all? And that's where concept of TiE Foods was started. And by now we operate 10 regional Indian food brands across 250 locations in 7 cities now.
Wonderful. Lovely to hear that, and maybe later on we'll come to the story behind the name TiE, right? Sriram, over to you. I read that you were one of the first brands to launch desserts in a jar. What is that story and what's your food story?
Hi guys, I'm Chef Sriram. I'm a chef by profession and an entrepreneur by option now. So what happens is we started Table, the brand I'm here to talk about. It's our parent brand. It's a cloud kitchen, predominantly cloud kitchen. It's a packaged dessert brand. We started in the year 2015. We're about 10 years old and we are in about 21 locations across 4 cities and fast expanding. By end of the next financial year, we should be there in 200 locations in 100 cities. So anything, and the brand, as we started, was a dessert jar brand. Like you said, we started as a dessert jar. We've expanded into ice cream, we've expanded into other categories. And now I would not call us as a dessert brand, but I would name it as a frozen forward brand moment or a frozen forward brand. Anything which is frozen in this space is what we are trying to do at the moment. Okay.
Wonderful. Gandharv, over to you. You said you are a North Indian, but who settled in Chennai, Singara, Chennai, right? And to start a brand like Roll Baby Roll, which is primarily a North Indian paratha-based kind of a model. What is that story, Gandharv?
Firstly, thank you for having me here. It's lovely to be in Coimbatore. Been a while I wanted to come to the city. Very happy to be here. So the idea basically was that, Indian homegrown QSRs is something which I saw that there's a lot of potential in. There are a lot of brands we resonate, everybody throughout the day has been talking about international brands. We have a lot of respect and regard for Domino's, for KFC, for Burger King. So they created their own niche. So what was that brand which could satisfy one's hunger craving? Could be a meal in itself, could be a grab and go option, and at the same time give you carb, protein, the whole, buzz, with the flavorful meal at a convenient, a convenience-based thing. So that's where wraps and rolls come in. So the idea is to build India's largest wrap and roll brand. That's what we are working on at Roll Baby Roll. Currently we operate 15 stores in Chennai in different models. We are in brick and mortar, we are in cloud, we are in malls, so different formats. We just sell about 60,000 rolls a month. And the journey was obviously looking at how something which is highly scalable, is mass premium, can give flavors. And to add on to what you said, North Indian, I would say not really. I mean, it's a personal meal which can be customized. So I do a chettinad flavor as well today, right? I do a Korean flavor as well today. And of course, there are flavorful North Indian options and a lot of influence from Kolkata as well. And looking at the health wave coming in. So, a roll can be something for every occasion, right? We have a healthy roll variant as well, which has come in. So something on the go, something on the move. You are heading for a meeting, a quick meal you want to have, a late night bite. You are transiting through an airport. So there are multiple use cases which a roll comes in. That's why it's Roll Baby Roll.
Wonderful. Ankur, what's your food story? You're the tech guy in this group, right?
I'm
the foodie guy.
Yeah. Outsider on the stage and the industry as well. So I come with almost 15 years of experience in manufacturing and supply chain. And there are a few things which I observed which led me to this. So Asia is 30% of world's area and 60% of world population. Okay, context one. Top three largest economies, out of top three, two are from Asia in the near future. So the growth is coming from Asia. Both the genders are participating in the economy. Clearly, I think the home-cooked food will get replaced by convenience. Okay. Now let's switch to how the Western world solved for convenience. They had drive-thrus, they had takeaways, they had large grocery chains where people would just go on a Sunday and bring in ready-to-eat items to be regenerated at home. Asia and closer home India doesn't have all of this. You can't imagine going out to MG Road to do a drive-thru in Bangalore, and same for Delhi and Mumbai to grab your lunch, right? Also, being a tropical country, we don't have the cold infra. So fundamentally, I think how Asia will eat when it develops is the pattern that we closely saw, and it really needed to reorient the supply chains and the manufacturing, where you would have cloud kitchens which will replace groceries version in Western world. So frozen will come to cloud kitchens, it will get regenerated and given to you as a ready-to-eat hot food via food delivery. So that is the starting point of what pulled me into the changing food ecosystem. We call it the convenience, and what really this industry is growing and competing with is groceries and not a lot restaurants, because we are talking about convenience, which was about home-cooked meals getting replaced by orderable meals. So that's my story.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Ankur. Gandharv, this question is to you. Raghav's session was kind of, like the initial part of Raghav's session was, okay, I also want to have a cloud kitchen. And then the last slide comes up and then people are, okay, should I know, right? So how do people answer that dilemma that they have in their mind, brick and mortar vis-a-vis a cloud kitchen? You've had experience both the sides. What would you put on that?
So I would say that it very much depends on the market you're entering, what kind of cuisine, what kind of food you're doing, right? You need to understand the space you're entering. If you want to, if your passion or your the use case is towards a fine dining restaurant or a casual dine, cloud is not really the way forward. But for QSRs, I feel yes. But at the same time, I'm a firm believer in jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai. Visibility is very important. So what we did was essentially, I don't know, not many people know that we started more towards as a cloud brand, but later on we realized that we want to bring more, control the brand narrative, bring more brand loyalty. So that's why we ventured into retail as well. And with regards to profitability, I'm a little, to say that more keen and focused that, profitability should be maintained. A healthy balance between retail and delivery, I feel, you are able to strike the right note doing that. Cloud is a very good option. I really commend what has happened in the ecosystem in the last couple of years. Especially due to COVID, I guess there are a lot of avenues which have opened. Quick commerce has opened. So these channels are definitely great for somebody to start on. But it's very difficult also because to get visibility on the screen, if you are a new brand, is difficult unless and until you're getting viral or you're doing something great. For somebody starting out, I would still feel that a healthy balance between the two is, if you're able to strike that works out better. And basis the market you are, then you can take a call how you want to scale in retail or you want to go the cloud way.
Wonderful. It gets as good as it gets at confusing people, right? There was one guy previously on the stage and the other guy is talking something exactly the opposite. His light bulb movement is not his light bulb movement. So let's talk to the lady and ask her why Coimbatore, right? And why specifically this city, kind of, so people can see if they can find corollaries in these two answers.
The kind of brands that we build regional Indian food brands. And actually, to what Gandharv was answering, I was thinking about it, that the kind of brands that we build, wherever there is a supply gap, where there's a demand but there's a supply gap, we build those kind of brands so that we don't have to spend a lot on marketing to create recall or to create visibility. We don't ever have to spend too much because there's enough demand but there is less supply. So when we were, figuring market study and we were figuring out cities and where we should be launching first, I was in Coimbatore figuring out, it's also an industrial place where you figure all your equipments and all of that, right? So I was here in Coimbatore to figure that out for our manufacturing facility, and I went, as just out of habit, as a foodpreneur, you visit all the restaurants, right, to figure kya bik raha hai yahan par. So I did that, and I realized that people are doing amazing here. The per outlet throughput is higher in comparison to other cities in Coimbatore. And that happens when there is enough demand, but the quality supply is less. And we started digging deeper and deeper and realized that it could be a great market for our set of brands, and that's why Coimbatore.
Wonderful. Good that you went around the city. Now we have Dill Foods here. Sriram, this question is to you, and it's from a very specific context of the dessert kind of thing that you said, right? How easy or difficult is it to scale a dessert brand on the internet?
It is actually slightly more difficult than the regular brand because we don't come with the regular storage, we come with the cold storage. The desserts, most of the desserts come with cold storage, and transport also comes with cold storage transport. So when it is in the delivery platform, especially from Chennai where I am or hotter cities, we will have to have a pickup point or a cloud kitchen every 4 kilometers once. Beyond 4 kilometers, it will not travel, the product will not travel, the customer will be really dissatisfied with it. And in terms of scale, it is scalable, but I would say, like Gandharv said, a good mix of QSR as well as this for brand visibility. Because if you are in a cloud kitchen and not in a QSR space, for example, you will have to spend that amount of marketing instead of the rent to the cloud. So people think it is cheaper, but actually the commercials work out together. If you want to make it cheaper, then again, like Rebel or other brands, you can have multiple brands in one.
I have a leading question to that. So, in my mind, I would think that if it's a cold chain kind of a thing, you can do it at one single city, let's say in Chennai, and then transport by containers or whatever to different cities. So do you think that way your scalability is much better than some of the other brands?
Scalability is much better that way. I agree with you because it is centralized. You can control your quality, maintain hygiene, everything else, and it can be pre-packed and sent out to locations. And you can actually, with the dessert part of it, you can actually control on wastage because it has a higher shelf life than regular food, which regular food is about 8 hours if I'm right. And this has anywhere between 6 months to a year. So, but scalability is there. But again, if you want to go to a retail or if you want to go to a cloud or anywhere else, then regular food, this is stored in a refrigerated place. So that the cost of the refrigeration is much higher than regular.
Thank you. Ankur, you've been one of those few panelists who also has a booth here. You have met some of the people from Coimbatore and you have answered some of their questions. What do you say is the future for Coimbatore when it comes to technology in food and cloud kitchen in a very specific way?
Yeah, so I'll answer the Coimbatore specific question by starting with few statistics. First is, generally for $1 million of a consumer facing revenue, all the consumer industries need 3 to 4 people for realizing that $1 million revenue at a larger scale. And that's an industry standard from the West. In restaurants, that number is 12. So it's one of the only consumer facing industries where there is huge dependency on human skill to get to a high revenue number, sheer number of people involved. So now I'll answer your question that I think as the modern brands try to scale, how they can have centralized operations like Sriram talked about, and how they can scale up faster by this quick commerce, e-commerce, and not trying to compete solely with the experiential restaurants, but also riding onto the growth that people will stop buying groceries and making food, and that is another market to look at. So I would say that central kitchen model, feeding to maybe pan-India from Coimbatore, that would be a dream state. But yeah, Coimbatore-based central kitchens feeding to the whole of South India, really possible. So you need not leave your city to build a big brand.
Wonderful. I'm in the difficult position of walking the talk with the timer gone, but this question is to the three of you, right? If I'm inspired in this hall to start a cloud kitchen, what is one single thing, we'll start from Aditi, one single thing or one single step that we need to take?
There's no one single step, but whether it's a cloud kitchen business, whether it's a brick and mortar business, you always have to answer 3 questions. Whatever you're doing, whatever business you're doing, whatever data you're looking at, there are 3 questions that you're answering. One is, what do I sell more? Second is, where are you losing customers? And third is, whatever this complex product that you have made out of passion, is it worth the complexity? So these are 3 questions. You should always answer whatever data you're looking at. Just answer those questions. And while you're doing all this, remember it's a business and not just a passion. Always figure out a way to be profitable. Baki sab kuch story, everything is there, sab kuch ho jayega. But if the business is not profitable or does not have a path to profitability, it just remains a passion.
So that looks like an MBA capsuled. Sriram?
I would say market fit, product, location. And from location, I would say, sorry, I know Swiggy is there, but any aggregator, please keep 45% higher margins if you want to make profitability.
Wonderful. Gandharv?
First, the most important thing I would say is, why are you doing it? Realize if there is a problem actually you're trying to solve, right? Is there a gap you're trying to fill in? That's very, very important. And the second thing is, look at the numbers. Don't get emotional in business, right? Some things will work and some will not. So it's very important to take a call that, this is good, this is working, this is not working, and move on from there. That's I feel is very important.
Wonderful. On behalf of the city of Coimbatore, can I request the 3 of you or 4 of you to share your LinkedIn contacts, and if someone really is inspired today to start a cloud kitchen, would you mentor them?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you're on camera. So
Absolutely. Sorry, I have the mic. So absolutely. And, as we were sharing in the last session of NRAI, I head the NRAS Chennai chapter, and that's the idea all about, where we have a lot of people where we can interact in, local events, which we keep on doing. Obviously, there are large-scale national events and big events like this one, but every month within the city, we do one event. So everybody can come together and interact. That's the best way to kind of reach out and understand, and move forward.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Arpita, Sriram, Gandharv, and Ankur. I think the audience is on cloud 9, at least as far as Cloud Kitchen goes on. We'll keep the questions to offline. They're here for some more time. You can meet them. And thank you so much, audience. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Now I would like to invite Mr. Prashant Subramanian, Charter Member and Treasurer of TiE Coimbatore, to present a token of our love to this panel.
Thanks much.